Hello and welcome to the final Siren with Duck and Oz from the Purple Rain. Oz, another pretty professional win by the Fremantle Dockers against Hawthorn.
Yeah, look, in no way, shape or form was I concerned throughout the course of that game that we're sneaking away with the points.
Oh, mate. There's one thing we can rely on as Dockers fans is that the Dockers will always entertain, mate.
Yes.
There will
Are you not entertained?
Yeah, there will not be a situation where we just get a nice, easy win.
Yeah.
Kick the first 2 goals. I thought, mate, here we go. Easy peasy. Nice, relaxing Saturday afternoon. Weird. Feels like Sunday night. Yep. That's all right. Saturday arvo, at the footy, enjoy ourselves, kick back. But no. That can't happen. You know, we just can't have a little bit of a nice, relaxing time. Heart rate's going through the roof. But in the end, the Freo Dockers ended up winners 14-11-95. Nearly tunned up, mate.
Again.
Nearly tunned up.
We're sniffing around the ton.
Yeah. And
we're
look,
almost there.
From, the 2 pool games we played against Gold Coast and Collingwood, where I think we scored about 40 points in both those games, to now go 3 games in a row in the high 90s.
Yeah.
You've got to be pretty excited about that. 39,000 people here watching along, which was fantastic. But 10-3, mate, going into the bye.
Oh, how good. Talking about start of the season, if we had said, okay, 10-3 before the bye, would you take it?
Oh, mate, every day of the week.
Every day of the week.
And the fact that we've beaten the top 2 of the top 3 sides, we're the other one, but Melbourne and Brisbane, and, the 2 losses that we've had were in weird situations with a bit of rain and things like that. It was kind of weird because I guess I kind of wanted it to rain today so we could
get the
prove
monkey
the doubters. Monkey off the back, mate. Prove the doubters wrong. But look, mate, the game was really set up by a fantastic third quarter in particular. And one guy who, unfortunately it looks like he's done a hamstring and maybe quite a bad one, but Blake Acres, mate, his third quarter was out of this world, mate. He ended up with 13 disposals, a goal and 1 goal assist in the third quarter alone.
Yeah.
He was absolutely everywhere in that third quarter.
Yep.
The run and carry from the back line for that goal assist, the goal, the intercept, it was interesting because I remember coming here and watching a practice match against the Eagles at the start of the year and going, Blake Acres just had this mental third quarter, and I was like, is Blake Acres really good at football? Because he'd been a bit of a whipping boy. He's had his ups and downs. He's had his soft tissue injuries. He hadn't really settled into the club and playing as well as what he is right now. And just as this guy looks like he's about to have another breakout game, a game where, in the votes potentially, that's how well he's playing, he does his hammy, mate. And I tell you what, talk about a punch to the gut. Not just for him, but for me, mate, because I've been a massive Blake Acres fan this year, so...
700 metres gained for Blake Acres. I mean, hello. The way that he was getting that leg drive and the system suits his game style. And we've seen his pace. We've seen him be able to, get on the end of some great ball movement, and he's been finishing well, and he's really been contributing to the overall score production of the team. And to see him go down like that is heartbreaking. But, hey, look, we don't know what's going on, so we'll see how that plays out. But, to see that third quarter would have to go down as one of the most productive third quarters I've seen from a wingman in a very long period of time. Like, I'd like someone to challenge that third quarter at the time and say, how productive has anyone else been compared to that? That's pretty good.
Mate, it was absolutely unbelievable. Look, obviously the biggest news of the game was a guy relatively unknown, bit of a new player by the name of Nathaniel Fife.
Nathaniel Fife.
Coming back into the team. Massive cheers all day long. Very slowly coming back. Pretty rusty, to be brutally honest. Pretty rusty. Got a lot of little hands in there, here and there. Just that more the bigger bodies of Hawthorn really got around him. And look, the bigger bodies of AFL, it's a big step up from coming from Waffle to AFL. But look, I thought he looks like he's got a bit of a bright future, the young man.
Yeah,
but
look, he could go okay.
Slowly worked his way into the game. Nearly nailed one from deep in the pocket, but then
we got excited.
Yeah.
Hang on, I got excited and I just mobbed you.
Yeah.
But yes. And 5 clearances for Fifey.
Yeah. And bounced back, mate, with the soccer goal. Now, Oz, question without notice, Have you ever seen a game where the Dockers have soccered more goals?
No, obviously channeling their inner Socceroos a few days ago after the nice win in, I think they're playing Peru in the next round.
Yeah, Peru on Monday morning.
Yeah, something like
2 a.m. Tuesday morning / Monday night.
But we digress.
Yep.
But yeah, look, certainly the soccer goals, you take him, and I think Bucks might have said it on the broadcast, that you just take goals any way you can. And if that's the way that you're going to kick goals because of the amount of pressure, and you got to say credit to Hawthorn with the amount of pressure that they put on over the 4 quarters. And yes, it did taper off towards the end of the game. Certainly you wouldn't expect them to be able to uphold that level of pressure over 4 quarters. But because of that pressure, we just had to take our opportunities when they presented, and I thought we did a fantastic job in doing that.
Don't you think it's interesting, Oz, that I guess it's the rhetoric around the game was, Hawthorn played well, they're a young side, Dockers, they're up the top. The difference between games played and average age, Walters and Fife come back in and they actually boost our average age and our games played right up. But we had 15 guys that had played less than 100 games running out there, mate, and, to Hawthorn's 13. So interesting thing there with that different age demographic and, the fact that Dockers actually still have a relatively young side. Relatively young, relatively, inexperienced, but all these guys are taking that next step. The likes of Caleb Sarong, Andy Brayshaw and Hayden Young, guys that came out of, I think, back-to-back drafts. How good were they, mate?
I know you're going to get to Brayshaw. Sarong was post-game interview fantastic, but very quickly on Hayden Young. Obviously snapped him up fantastic, signed on, super excited by that. He's certainly been able to add to his frame since arriving. So he's put on muscle, he's put on a bit of weight, which is great for his marking overhead. And he's always been a great mark overhead, but now he's got the body to back it up and hold his position. Mate, he is something else. And that drive off the bat, his foot, he should ensure that foot. Because the way that he kicks that ball with penetration is something else.
And I think the really big thing is as well is that, mate, like he's a young guy, but I think he's just oozes confidence. You look in that first quarter, he gets caught holding the ball, concedes a goal pretty much from that. But then for him to bounce back and just continue to take the game on, the other thing is his teammates going, hey, we're still going to trust you, mate. So that inner belief and also that external belief, not only in himself, but what his teammates have in him. I mean, he's just absolutely going from strength to strength, and a couple of really big key marks as well. And, the guys that are, if that upgrade from over the last previous years of a halfback flanker who intercepts, uses the ball well, is just immense, and it's where we're actually improving across the board of those guys who are, your last year were young players growing into it, and stepping into that, talking about Andy Brayshaw and Caleb Sarong, and when Brayshaw went a bit quiet, Sarong stood up, and when Sarong went a bit quiet, Andy stood up, and they just are outstanding together. Sarong's clearances in that first quarter, unbelievable, deep penetrating clearances, mate. Lovely deep entries, got us right into that game, and we scored a lot from our centre clearances. I think at one stage it was 4 goals 3 would kick from centre clearances. So, driving in that, and if we get that string to our bow of, hey, we score goals from turnovers, we score goals from centre clearances, and then we score goals from clearances, mate, it's getting to the stage now where, and I don't know how Dockers fans feel out there, but I'm going to look directly into the camera. Over the last 5, 6 years, 7 years, we've been doing the pod. On the weekend, you roll in, Dockers win. How good's that? You're happy for the week. Next week, they lose. Da-da-da. We actually have a team that,
hold it,
might win this whole thing, mate. But you know what I mean, Oz? It's like every weekend is now back to 2012, 13, 14 style. 2013, probably 14, 15 style more than anything, where it's not just like you rock up and you expect to win. It's like, what happens when we just keep winning and we beat teams? And we, like a game like today where I didn't think we were our best. Hawthorn played their absolute best just about. And we still won.
Now, on that point, and this may sound egregious, but it does feed into what you were saying, I like the idea of this team and the age demographic playing those type of games and winning those games. I think it's more beneficial for those guys to experience a tough win tough conditions, but tough win as opposed to belting teams. You're going to learn more out of that situation. I think we get way more out of that win than we do on a perfectly fine day and smack them by 8 goals.
Yeah.
You find out who's who. You find out, how are we going to move the ball in certain conditions? How do we structure up better behind the ball? And what happens if things don't go away? What happens if they bring the same level of intensity? Can we take it to the next level? And this team continually, I don't know why I'm surprised, but they continually surprise me with the ability to bounce back and just bring it.
And that's it's scary, mate. It is scary.
Whoa.
Mate, just a couple other things.
Is that
Big Coxie down back, mate.
Did we book the bus?
Buses penned in. Big Coxie down back, mate.
Yep.
Continues to dominate. And look, just going to that last quarter in particular, where he's down, he looks like he's hurt himself, some type of, cramping, something like that.
Looked like he died, yeah.
Jumped up, big mark, big spoil, big clearance. It was like, oh my God, he looked like a man possessed. But he was absolutely outstanding today, Cox. I thought probably one of his better games. And he's one of those guys that continually is going under the radar, talking about all Australians. And you're like, hang on, this guy's actually probably one of the best intercept markers in the competition.
12 today, brilliant. Yeah.
And just continues to really, Hawthorn did have more inside 50s in us, and we were able to repel that because the back six are doing so well at the moment.
If you look at the statistics, 61 inside 50s for Hawthorn, 47 for Fremantle, and yet we come away with the win. I wouldn't have said that it's because of poor forward entries necessarily. I mean, some of their forward entries weren't great, but it's because the defence holds up so well, and you've got those guys back there, Cox and Pearce in particular, who can take big guys and especially use their body well. I thought, again, our running backs were great. I thought Clark was fantastic again.
Yeah, really good game by Clark.
Continues to amaze me with how we choose to bandage up our, about players in the AFL.
Honestly, I said to you...
is it over?
Yeah.
What do we do?
Wouldn't you just... Mate... It's been, how long since Florence Nightingale? It's like a Florence Nightingale style dressing of the wound. And it's like, mate, what's happened? Isn't there new science? What's going on? Have we not got nanobots or something that can fix that kind of stuff up? Or just some jelly or some kind of cream?
I'll tell you what, though,
Has there been no jelly or cream that's been invented for that kind of injury? Hey, mate, just finally, never seen a game with so many Falcons. Blokes getting hit in the head with a footy.
Good call.
Just unbelievable amount of guys getting hit in the head with a footy, balls slipping off, blokes getting hit in the head from marking contests and things like that. So, a bit slippy down there, a bit of a Falcon Central and a real Falcon-like feeling today with guys just getting hit straight in the head with the footy, which is always pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good gag. All right, mate. On that note, we'll go to our special guest. Who could it be? Dunno. Who knows? All right, guys. We're joined by Andy Brayshaw after another sensational game of footy. Andy, how you feeling after that one, mate?
Stoked. It was a really scrappy game, but one we needed to win. And now we're into the bye at 10-3. So, very happy with the group.
Mate, we were just saying before that games like that, it's valuable for the players to really experience tight contest, everyone under the cosh, and really just to be able to fight through it. Obviously the system's working well, but just to do what it takes. Soccer goals, brilliant, but taking opportunities. Did you find that that's something that you guys thought as well post-game?
Yeah, at half-time, the boys were pretty flat, not going to lie. Hawks really brought it to us, and it was an arm wrestle the whole way. But like you mentioned, our system stands up. And when we have 22 guys committing to roll, which I think we got back to more in the second half, really scrapping and hitting in the contest, that's when we saw goals go our way. So really proud of the effort of the boys. It wasn't pretty, but it's what we needed to do.
Yeah. Now, Andy, just your season so far this year, mate, you've been spoken about in terms of all Australians, Brownlow medal, things like that. What do you credit this season to, mate? Your improvement has gone up another level. What was it? Something during the off season? Is it something that you found this season that has got you to the next level?
I think a couple of things have definitely helped. Firstly, in the off season, we weren't. Due to the COVID restrictions, we weren't allowed to go back to our home states. So myself and pretty much the whole squad, instead of going back and travelling and seeing family, which is what we usually do, we sort of had a mini pre-season over the off-season. So we had like 20 blokes at a time catching up at a local park to do training sessions when we didn't have to. And I think that really built the connection. Jordan Clark and Will Brodie coming in, getting involved in those sessions, like we pretty much did an extra few months of training. And I think, building that connection with the group has definitely helped. And I think we're all on the same page. We've played a fair bit of footy together now, but I think that off-season definitely helped. And then there's a few players that I've been training really hard with who are just pushing me to be the best I can be. So Caleb Sarong, every day doing touch with him. Fifey in the gym is an absolute beast. Dave, when it comes to meetings and visions, he's an absolute star. And Sean Darcy's always doing touch as well. So I've got teammates around me that are just pushing me to be the best I can be, and the coaching staff as well. Joel Corey's doing touch with me pretty much every day, and Josh Carr watching heaps of vision with me. So everyone's just committed to being the best, and I guess it's sort of just they're helping me along the way.
Love it. It's all about reps. Mate, we've heard several times from players, not just on this pod, but in the media as well, and the wider media, that the younger guys are really driving the training. They're driving the standards of training. They're driving leadership, etc. Do you really feel that this group coming through, we are talking about sustained success over a long period of time?
Well, yeah. I mean, we've got a very young group. When you look at some of the players that we've got out on the park, you know that most of the guys haven't even played 50 games yet. So it's really exciting because, we're winning now. But, what should stop us from, being a really strong side for the next few years? So, I mean, like we talk about it. I mean, we're 10-3 and we're going really well. We've got a really good system set up by JL, and we've got a lot of young guys that are hungry for success. And if we can keep the group together, keep us on the right path, I think we should be a really strong side.
Now, just talk to us about a young man, Will Brodie, mate. Come in, set the world on fire. What do you see with his game that really excites you?
He's an absolute beast. Inside bull, super clean. Rarely gets thrown off the ball, so he just puts himself under the contest and is so strong and clean with it that he can just break stoppages open. And feeds me as well, which is great. So, he's someone who's come in, has always been really hungry and was probably deprived of opportunity at Gold Coast, has got his chance here at Freo and taken it with both hands. Like, bought into the culture straight away when he got to the club, was one of those guys that was at those training sessions when we didn't have to be, and always catching up with blokes outside of the club just to build connections. And I'm so happy for him because he really has got a second chance with us, and he's doing so well. So I'm so happy for him.
Beautiful. Now, mate, your season obviously averaging 31 disposals, 5 clearances, about 450 metres gained. You're going about 84% disposal efficiency. It's pretty tidy. So have you received a phone call about arm length for that All-Australian jacket yet, or?
Nah, nothing about that. But no, I'm just excited. Like, we're playing really well. Get the bye this week, so everyone's going to freshen up, and hopefully we have a really strong back half of the year. But if I can play my part in that, getting us wins, that's what I'm going to do.
Now, just 2 quick questions in regards to your brother, mate. One, did you rub it a bit into him after beating him the other day in Melbourne? And 2, what's his likelihood of coming over to WA and joining the Freo Dockers, mate? We'd love to see another helmeted player at the Dockers, mate, and be up and about.
Yeah, that would be great. It was the first time I'd actually beaten him, so it gave him
hello.
A fair bit of stuff in the car on the way home when he was driving us home. So that was a great feeling. But in all seriousness, I'm trying to get in his ear, really trying to make him come here. But he's got a really big decision to make. Free agent, so fingers crossed he can come to us. But I'm not sure.
Nice. Look, a couple of wacky questions from us. My first one: better golf player out of yourself and Trav Collier?
I'd love to say me, but I would be lying. Trav is a gun.
Okay. Yeah. Nice.
And I'll just probably go with weirdest unit, mate. We've heard that Noddy O'Driscoll's getting up there for the weird unit stakes, and we're very, very interested into the competition at the club has even entered into the weird unit stakes, mate. But who's the weirdest unit at the club at the moment?
There's plenty. There are plenty. Nathan O'Driscoll is definitely up there. I think Heath Chapman's really interesting unit.
Chappie.
Chappie's very, very interesting, so I'd put him up there. I'd probably say those two. Keep it between those two, I reckon.
All right. And what about pound for pound? Tabs has been trying to hold down this spot for a while now. Is he still up there, or is he kind of losing his mantle a little bit?
Griffin Logue probably reckons that he'd have him pound for pound. I'd probably go with Griff. Yeah.
How have you been enjoying seeing Griffin Logue play up forward, mate? It's been something a bit different. It's a bit out there, and you know the young buck has been up and about. Yeah,
it's been a really interesting move. Like I think it was against Melbourne where we decided we were going to shift him up forward, and he's absolutely loving it up there, launching it at the ball, bringing it to ground. Really exciting. He's an awesome character. He'll do whatever the team needs from him. But I love him up there. Just put it to his advantage, and he's so strong and powerful that he's able to make a contest out of it. So I really enjoy having him up forward.
Nice, mate. Look, one more left field question for me, if you don't mind answering this personal question. How long did it take you to come up with that handshake with Caleb Sarong? It's pretty special.
It is a good one. No, it was probably on one night. One night we just decided we'd come up with something. So it took a while, but no, it was all within one night. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks well choreographed.
Now, Andy, I'm gonna start asking this to all the players that we interview, mate. I have got a plan to the US booked prelim time, grand final time, mate. Do I cancel the trip, or do I and face the scorn of my lovely girlfriend, or do I just go to the US and enjoy the Dockers' victory over there? What should I do, mate?
Try and get a flexi fare, I reckon.
Flexi fare. You've heard it here. Yes, mate. Flexi fair.
Oh, I love it.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us, Andy. Mate, I tell you what, you're putting together some kind of season, mate. It's just been unbelievable, and the Dockers are going really well.
Yep. Well done, mate.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Well, that wraps up the final siren. We head into a bye now. It'll be July 3rd, next time you see our lovely faces against Port Adelaide. But fantastic to see all the Dockers fans out here again. 39,000. We're 10-3. We're up and about. The bus is getting booked. You know, the deposits may be put down for the bus seats. We're up and about, mate, and it like I said, it's scary. It's scary how good we are. And
very scary.
A guy like Andy Brayshaw, who just goes from strength to strength, and these young guys who are just playing fantastic footy, we've got a lot of bright future, mate.
Yeah, I'm very excited about what the future holds. But right now, let's be in the moment. Let's enjoy this win. And hopefully we can stay on track, mate, because the future is very bright.
Oh, future's very purple, some would say. Hashtag. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us.
See you later.
See you next month.